Hey Sparks, what's up? And hello to my new subscribers. It's Montina here. And my mission with this channel is to inspire, educate, and share information that helps you thrive in life and thrive in business. If that sounds good to you, subscribe. So in this video today, I want to talk to some of my married women and I want to talk to some of my young women. For my married women, you need to stay married. Stay married. You do not want to be back out on the block. Okay, if there's no adultery, addictions, or abuse, and let me tell you something, even with the adultery, go to some counseling, sis, because it's like the wild, wild west out here, and you don't want to be out here. So let me tell you why I'm saying this. And for my young women, you want to take heed because you want your first marriage to be your last marriage, okay? So I was having a conversation today with just kind of a associate, some business talk, and it was turning into like more personal. And when I mentioned I was getting married because it was relevant to the conversation, she's like, "Oh my goodness, sis, congratulations." And I keep thinking I want to be out on the block. And I'm like, well, not out on the block. She was like, I've been married for over 20 years and well, she'd been with her husband over 20 years and they've been married for a long time. And she was just saying how, she just really thought that she might want to get out here and explore her options. She was becoming attracted to older men. Just tell me all of these things. I'm listening intently. I said, "Listen, sis." I said, "I'm going to call you sis at this point. You do not want to be back out on this block. I don't care what it looks like online. I don't care about the attention you think you're getting from men. You better stay married. You have a good husband? Yeah, he's a good husband. He provides, he protects, he produces. Basically, he's a masculine energy man. He takes care of all the bills and you're living your best life." I said, "You come out here, you're competing with me and you're competing with the 20-year-olds and the 30-year-olds. She's in her 30s and she's sharp though. Don't get me wrong. She looks good. But I told her, even looking good, you still been in a relationship for 20 plus years. So I ran down some things that I shared with her that I'm like, oh, I need to share with y'all because some of you all really think you got options. You're like, oh, I'm just gonna get back out there and test the waters. The waters are rough, okay? I wondered why when I was on Match.com, my daughter put me on Match.com and really like 2019-ish, and I was just getting too many messages, went out on this. By the second date, this man was like, "What if I ask you to marry me?" And I'm like, what the heck? I got up off the app, right? I think that was even Tinder. And he was serious. He was serious. Had been on his job like 30 years, really reputable guy, had one son, just he was a solid man. But I was like, oh my God, it was too much for me. When I got on Match in 2020, I was getting 100 messages a week. And I'm thinking, is there a shortage of women? Now, I didn't have no provocative. I have never in my life taken no booty pic. Okay, well, not publicly that I've shared, okay? But I don't have anything provocative online or things like that. I was getting a lot of messages and the men were really like what I'll just say high quality. I'm just going to use the term quality. These were retired military men, or these were men that had been on their jobs 20 years. They had intelligent conversations. I was just really impressed. When I met my Superman, we started talking on a Sunday. I told him I'd call him back. I didn't. Monday, he texts me in the morning. I'm like, oh, okay. By midday, he texts me again. So I'm like, okay, I'm a Leo. I like attention. I still let me pay attention. We went on our first date on a Tuesday, So Sunday we talked, Tuesday first date. And he actually met me at my son's high school basketball game. I kind of mentioned it. He's like, I'll meet you there, And he really likes basketball. He played in college and things like that. So when I arrived, he said, where do you want to eat? And I was like, I think there's a Burger King up the street. And he's like, Burger King? Yeah, because I don't want to be late for the game. I bought his ticket into the game. Okay, the rest is history. So there were so many messages coming through for me. Let me tell you why you want to stay married, sis. And young woman, let me tell you why you want to get your husband while you're young. You want to attract an amazing man. He may not be around your age, maybe about 5 years, 10 years older. I do hear, our buddy Kevin Samuels, Godfather, talking about, 30, 40-year-old men with these 20-something-year-old women. But I was telling a woman earlier, when I was in my 20s, like 35, 40-year-old men were old. 50? Oh, no way. You was like old, okay? Even though I'm headed that direction now. I'm like, it don't seem so old. But for my young women, you do want to make your first marriage your last marriage. You want to be sweet, kind, feminine, beautiful, inspiring, influential, submissive, cooperative, and all of those amazing things. You want to respect your husband. Many of you all don't have sister friends that are being honest with you in terms of, sis, stay with your husband. Sis, he's a good man. I hear you talking bad about him. He's a good man. And I've done this on several occasions. So let me tell you why you want to stay. Now, this is not all specific to me, but this is generalizations. Because once you get out that first marriage and once you get into a second, third, fourth, whatever marriage, things are a little different. So many of you are like, I don't want to deal with baby mamas. Well, guess what? Because I do teach that men over 40, if they've never been married, they're never going to marry. It's just the likelihood of them marrying is like less than 2%. So many times these men have been in long-term relationships or married. The men, my soon-to-be husband and I both have had, we've been married, okay, multiple times. They have ex-wives. And many times they have ex-wives that they're paying alimony. So you thinking baby mama child support, but alimony might be for life for some of them, okay? And for some of them, because they were married so long, they're paying out off of their retirement. Oh, you ain't think about that one. They have had friends 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 years. So the friends that you're meeting have met, quote unquote, you before. They might not like you. They might have met 10 of you. So you're dealing with trying to get in and assimilate with a whole new set of friends that have been together for 20, 30, 40 years. Think about that. You might be living in the ex's home. Jada Pinkett talked about that. And I guess when Will's first wife was like, you're in the home I picked out. And she's like, it's mine now. You might be sleeping in the ex's bed that ex slept in. How are you going to feel about that? These are things that people aren't telling you, sis. Stay in your marriage, sis, and young woman. Attract a nice man that you respect, that you can grow with. Here's something else. You're not dealing with just their kids that they may have, right? They might have their kids. You might be dealing with the ex's kids too, let me tell you. Because one thing that you may not be thinking about is if they were with that ex while maybe the stepchildren were young, they may consider them their children. And if you have a good man, he probably does. So you're not just dealing with his seed, you're dealing with the ex-wife's seed too. And it's different, okay? What about, you're dealing with adult children, but guess what? You might get to deal with grandchildren that are adults too. See, these are the things they don't talk about. Well, I am not seeing nobody talk about this stuff online because the femininity coaches and teachers that are teaching you about marriage aren't telling you the raw deal things because they haven't been married again, okay? These are things that that's why second, third, fourth, fifth marriages fail is not because of the people. It's the external, extremities, okay? And if something dies on your body, right? Your finger turns blue, what you supposed to do? Cut it off so you can save the arm or save the hand. It's the extremities. What if your soon-to-be spouse, future spouse, what if you're dating someone that has a special needs child or children? Have you thought about that? No. Okay, no. See, when you're in a marriage, you get what you get. You know. There's some things I'm sharing here, y'all. STDs. Oh my goodness, STDs. Okay, you dealing with getting out here, what they say, riding the cock carousel, which I hope, the ones that watch me, y'all, that body count needs to stay low. That's one thing I can say I've done over the years. Like I just haven't, if I'm married, I'm in a relationship, or I'm single. I've never slept around because I'm not let nobody listen. And it ain't, black women be like, we're all that. We are, but you know what? I can't even see giving my piece of heaven, my slice of heaven to just anybody, girl. You are precious. Your energy is not for everybody. They might have health issues as you get older. They could have high blood pressure, diabetes. I mean, you don't know. I got a whole piece of paper. Let me tell you what else. They might have credit challenges because if they've been married and divorced, they might have had to file bankrupt. I had to file bankrupt after my first divorce. I had to learn. So they might have credit challenges. So what are you bringing how are you adding value? I don't like this bringing to the table. How do you add value and enhance the peace and the paradise and the joy? How do you make it interesting in the relationship? Have you ever had a conversation with someone and it's not about your kids? So when you actually are going into second, third, fourth, fifth marriages, And I have aunts. I have an aunt that was married 7 times. I have an aunt that's on her 4th husband, which is my uncle. And I mean, it just is what it is. Folks need to stop judging. It's my 3rd marriage. Do you know how to thrive without children in the home, where it's just me and you, right? Y'all just in the house, okay? You're gonna have to deal with their siblings, right? So remember, you're talking about somebody now in their 40s, 50s, 60s, beyond. I have an uncle that married in his 80s. He was, my auntie had passed, and he actually had, I think, another good 10 years with his 2nd marriage. You're dealing with adult siblings, okay? Now, I grew up as an only child. I do have a younger sister, but I'm kind of like an only child now. It's just me, okay? But my honey comes with siblings. Now, they are amazing. They treat me just so, oh, they are so sweet. But that's not always the case, okay? And what I told her today, which really made her think, okay, my friend, when I was talking to her, my associate turning into friend, I said, sis, let me tell you something. You've been with the same man over 20 years. I said, do you really want to have sex with someone else, like oral sex? She was like, oh. Okay, I don't care what men, they love it, but women be like, oh. She was like, I said, really think about that. You want to have oral sex with another, you don't know their hygiene. You don't know their smell. You don't know their nuances. You don't know their sexual, their appetite. Okay, because I listened to this one guy on YouTube. I really like his financial stuff, but he gets into these sexual stories. He's lewd. Like I was listening to a video yesterday, because it's more economic, but he shared something at the end about women coming to his home, taking off their clothes at the door, putting on some high heels because he knew their shoe size, and naked, and literally telling them, take my bleep out and suck it. I'm like, I think I have to really think, I'm not prude, but golly, I don't want to hear stuff like that. It's just, but these men, that's what they out here doing. Go look at Coach Greg's content. Y'all out here really thinking you got options playing. So my young women, use your uterus wisely. I tell people that and they always laugh. I think it's something I just made up, because I'd be like, I wish I would have used my uterus wisely. You need to marry before you carry, and use your uterus wisely. Stay married 2-3 years. Make sure this is someone that you are compatible with, that you get along with. I just heard, I guess there's like a Dr. Johnny or something like that online, part of Dave Ramsey's camp, and people call in about their failing marriages. And I listened to this guy, Coach Greg, that was talking about him, and a man called him, said he had been married 6 years. I'm gonna see if I can find it, link it below. And he was miserable. And she got pregnant after the 6th year. They even knew, like, man, we should have got this annulled. But they were engaged 3 years prior, so they were kind of getting on the man. But you having a baby with somebody that you just don't enjoy. So sis, you better rethink, thinking you got options. You don't want to be back out here. You don't want to be on the block. Go lose some weight. Read you some books. Study your man. Listen to these foolish men online. Read the comments, because they're sharing what men want. They are simple. They want peace. They want paradise. They want a beautiful, fit, cooperative, submissive woman. They want us to be kind. They want us to be interesting and mysterious. They don't want you having these girls' nights out either. I'm telling you, it's a lot that I've learned. Listen to Patrice O'Neal. Like, get on the other side. And I know some women are talking about, it shouldn't be all our responsibility. You want what you want, or you want to be back out on the block like these other women. Okay, you can live your best life. Best life being a wife. And what I told the woman I was speaking with, we don't hear enough of that. And she's like, well, I feel like I've surpassed my husband, and I've been in Rolls Royces, and I want success, and I'm getting bored. I said, slow down. Is your husband a provider? She's like, yeah. Like, she was kind of almost offended. Like, yeah. Well, slow down. I had to slow down my business. I did. Y'all go back and look at my older videos. I am in business for real. I run a real business. I have government contracts. I have corporate contracts. I have contracts with the housing authorities. I have clients. I run I've done over 7 figures. And let me tell you something. I am in that upper ones that Kevin talks about. I make over $250,000 a year. I have run a business. I had to slow down my business, because in order to be successful in my relationship, I could not continue on that 12, 14 hour success train for business. And she said, well, how did you slow down? And I sent her some books and things. Some of you all are so success driven, you kind of think you're better than your husband, the one that has been with you and grown with you. Girl, you don't want to be back out on this block. I don't care what they say. It ain't looking good for the home team. So anyways, I'm going to let y'all go. Who is going to be the spark to ignite the conversation? Just wanted to come along and do this really quick. Also, y'all probably looking at my hat. Oh, I hope I messed up with my hair. Oh man, I hope it didn't mess up. Because it's like, who wants to hear messed up audio? Move my little braids back. So a hat really spices up an outfit. I literally have on a nice little cute little dress in the house. I was gonna run some errands, but I don't know if I will. But it just spices it up. So really without it, hopefully it didn't hit. So this is how I look without it. It's my hair. And this is with it. See, it really spices it up. All right, I'll see you in the next video. Peace, y'all.